Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, nothing gets the excitement going like talking about the Eagles and their potential moves, especially when it comes to players who could be on the move. And one name that's been making waves recently is Jordan Davis. Now, if you follow the Eagles closely, you know that Davis was drafted with high hopes back in 2022. A first-round pick from Georgia, a guy with the size, the athleticism, and the potential to be a game-changing defensive tackle. But as we've seen over the past couple of seasons, Davis hasn't quite lived up to those lofty expectations. And now, with the NFL offseason in full swing, rumors are swirling that his time in Philadelphia might be coming to an end sooner rather than later. It's a pretty interesting scenario because, honestly, Davis has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has eluded him. Over the last 3 seasons, he's managed just 27 tackles, 1 sack, a couple of pass deflections, and a fumble recovery, numbers that don't scream franchise cornerstone. And that's why, despite his youth and untapped potential, some front offices see him as a trade candidate during the upcoming 2025 season. You see, the Eagles, as a team, have been very active in the trade market, not shy about making moves to better position themselves for another Super Bowl run. After all, they've won 2 Lombardi trophies in less than a decade, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. Now, it's important to understand the context here. The Eagles are in a bit of a rebuild mode, even if they're still competing at a high level. They've parted ways with some key players in the secondary, like C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Darius Slay, in what looks like a strategic shakeup to free up cap space and bring in younger talent. So, trading Davis, who has a cap hit of around $9 million, could be part of that plan. It's a move that makes sense if they aim to recoup some of that cap space and invest in other areas, perhaps bolstering their defensive line or drafting the next generation of stars alongside Jalen Carter. But let's talk about what kind of teams might be interested in Jordan Davis. One team that's been mentioned quite a bit is the Los Angeles Chargers. Last season, the Chargers had a lot of promise, but they fell apart in the playoffs, especially in that wildcard game. They need help along the trenches, especially on the defensive line. They lost Morgan Fox and Poona Ford, so adding a guy like Davis, who has championship experience from his Georgia days and a lot of untapped potential, could give them a much-needed boost. Davis isn't the flashiest player, but his size and ability to clog running lanes and provide pressure up the middle could be exactly what the Chargers need to take their defense to the next level. And it's not just the Chargers. Don't forget about the Baltimore Ravens. Led by Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are always in the conversation, but their defense has been somewhat inconsistent, especially after losing some key players like Michael Pierce to retirement. The Ravens need someone who can bring stability and help them win those gritty, hard-fought battles in the trenches. Davis, with his playoff experience and physical presence, could be the perfect fit to help solidify that interior line, especially with the Ravens' current group struggling to consistently generate pressure or stuff the run. They've signed some players to fill gaps, but Davis could be a significant addition, providing that extra layer of disruption needed for a team that's always in the playoff hunt. Now, just imagine what that would mean for Philadelphia if Davis gets traded. It's a classic case of a player who might not have quite reached his ceiling with the Eagles, but whose value could be maximized elsewhere. The Eagles have depth on the defensive line, especially with Jalen Carter emerging as a star, and they're always looking to build for the future. Trading Davis could be a way to open up a roster spot, clear some cap space, and bring in some draft capital, something that could help them reload for another deep postseason run. And it's not just about the NFL teams looking for immediate help. Sometimes, a change of scenery can do wonders for a young player like Davis. Maybe a new environment, a different coaching staff, and a fresh start could unlock the talent that made him a first-round pick in the first place. The NFL is all about those second chances, and teams like the Chargers or Ravens might see in Davis a low-risk, high-reward addition that could pay dividends down the line. But beyond Davis, it's also worth talking about what the Eagles are doing this offseason. The team has been quite active, making strategic moves to stay competitive while also planning for the future. They've been retooling their secondary, letting go of Darius Slay and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, which indicates a shift toward younger, more cost-effective players. But the core of this team remains strong, especially on offense with Jalen Hurts leading the charge and a defense that's still formidable. The addition of rookies and some veteran pieces shows they're not just content with what they achieved last season. They want to continue their success and maybe even go further than ever before. Speaking of that defense, it's been a mix of young talent and experienced players. You've got Jordan Davis, who's still in that developmental phase, and now with the potential of a trade, it might be a perfect scenario for all parties involved. The Eagles, of course, want to keep their championship window open, but they also have to be smart about managing their salary cap and roster flexibility. Trading Davis could be a move that helps them balance both, while also giving that player an opportunity to thrive elsewhere. This season, expectations are sky-high for Philly. The team's offense is explosive, with Jalen Hurts now firmly established as one of the league's top quarterbacks. His dual-threat ability keeps defenses guessing, and with weapons like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, they have the firepower to put up huge numbers. But it's on the defensive side that questions remain. Can they be consistent enough to carry them through the postseason? They've shown glimpses of dominance, but adding a player like Davis, or finding the right fit in the trenches, could be the difference maker. Now, for the fans, it's all about that hope and anticipation. Every offseason move, every draft pick, every trade rumor fuels that excitement. The Eagles' front office has a reputation for being aggressive and smart, so it wouldn't surprise anyone if they explore all options to improve the team. Whether Davis stays or goes, the message is clear. The Eagles are committed to winning, and they're willing to make tough decisions if it means chasing that elusive third Super Bowl title in the coming years. And let's not forget the broader picture in the NFL. The league is incredibly competitive right now, with teams like Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and others vying for supremacy. The NFC East has become even more interesting with the Eagles' rise, and any shakeup in their roster, especially in the trenches, could tip the scales. The division rivals are watching closely, knowing that any change in the Eagles' roster could give them an edge or set them back. It's that constant chess match that makes the NFL so thrilling to watch. So, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, keep an eye on Jordan Davis. Will he stay in Philly and continue to develop into the player he was projected to be? Or will he be traded to help another team reach their Super Bowl dreams? Whatever happens, it's clear that Davis's future in the NFL is far from certain, but it's also full of potential. For the Eagles, the focus remains on building a championship-caliber roster, and every move they make will be scrutinized and analyzed by fans and analysts alike. They've built a winning culture, and their quest for glory is far from over. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Davis has a future in Philadelphia, or is a trade inevitable? Do you believe the Eagles should hold on to him or look to rebuild and bring in other pieces? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more insights into everything Eagles related. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Birds.